Dolan, you got a baseball memory for us? Do you have?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. I used to go and watch all of my friends play.
There it is.
And I got to run the score, the score thing. Yeah, because if you run the score thing, then you get a free snack at the concession.
Boom.
And
nice.
and I always did seeds. I always had the seeds.
Always.
The barbecue or the dill pickle were my favorite.
Inspired by the adventures of our nurses, therapists, and techs, A Beer with Atlas is the only healthcare traveling, craft beer drinking podcast. Each week, we'll open a few beers, talk about the brewery and the style of beer, and then dive into some research curated specifically for each episode. In the end, we hope each one sounds like a conversation you'd have with your friends while enjoying a few cold ones.
Play ball, and welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas. I'm Rich.
I'm Brian.
You said play ball?
Play ball?
Question mark?
Well, it was a question mark for a while, and
Okay.
that's why we held off on doing this beer. From Buzzrock Brewing Company, Kershaw's Wicked Curve Grapefruit Wheat Ale. Clayton Kershaw.
Torrance, California.
Torrance.
Danny Torrance. You know, I almost did some Torrance research, but I didn't.
No?
I
Okay.
didn't.
Some Danny Torrance?
Yeah.
Okay. I would have been okay with that.
Here we go. While you're pouring, a citrus-forward wheat ale made with fresh grapefruit. It has a 5.3% ABV and 18 IBUs. Cascade hops give it a subtle pine and citrus aroma, and wheat barley malt makes for a soft and creamy mouthfeel. That's what we're getting into, fellers.
Oh, boy. And I'm so glad too. It was so sketchy there for a while. I mean, it didn't look like we were going to have baseball. And every year for Christmas, I get beers from Jenny's cousin and her husband, who's also a beer guy.
Yes.
And this is one that he got for me this year. So I've been sitting on this one, waiting, hoping that we would have baseball. Now that we do, and opening day is upon us.
Yeah.
Then we're clearly into opening. We're clearly into the baseball season already. But
If I had to guess, my Royals are in last place.
I don't think the Cubs would be that far behind you, quite honestly. So, Buzzrock Brewing is located at 21770 Del Amo Circle East in Torrance, California. Open their hours are awesome. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, open Monday through Thursday, 11:30 to 9.
Okay.
Normal, right? Friday and Saturday, 11:30 to 11. So, a little time to party. Sunday, 9:30 to 9.
Nice.
They're open at 9:30 on Sunday.
Well, you know.
Nice. Do they have brunch?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Who cares?
It didn't look.
Ooh.
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, this is what we're doing right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's no different from what we just did. I like how the can is a tall boy,
Yes.
just kind of like when you're at the baseball game,
That's
Which is
they call
nice.
it a stadium can
a stadium can.
because it's taller than a tall boy.
Oh,
how many ounces? Oh, it's 1 pint, right? I mean, it's a pint.
yeah.
It's a tall, skinny one.
So it's brewed at. It's Wicked Curve is brewed by Buzzrock, but then they have a place called. What's it called? It's called. I wrote it down. Did you write this down here?
Oh, I went deep into this
Into this, I'm gonna let you handle that.
because
Then.
it was. I'd never seen it before.
I'd never seen anything like this either. Nothing like this either. Let me talk about the a charity then.
Yeah,
That
go ahead.
A little
I got
bit
some
on
of
that
too. Yeah.
100% of the royalties from sales of Kershaw's Wicked Curve benefit Ellen and Clayton Kershaw's charity, Kershaw's Challenge, whose mission is to serve the most vulnerable living in LA, Dallas, Zambia, and the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
$14 million raised since its inception. 23 different groups, beneficiaries, have gotten money from this at those four different locations.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
at KershawsChallenge.com.
KershawsChallenge.com.
Yeah.
He's one of the best pitchers of the last 15 years, we'd say,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
A lefty, which isn't super common anymore. The can itself, from what I can tell, the initial drawing I saw online the guy that drew this picture, David Harrington, works for this company called The Graphic Element. And he had as a righty the first time. So I was like, oh, I like that. That's funny.
Yeah.
Whoops. You can tell he's wearing Dodgers outfit, but it's not Dodgers clothes. You know what I mean? Like it looks like they're road unis.
Well, they didn't want to copyright.
Yeah, you can't step on the MLB's toes or they'll slap you down. 19.2 ounces is what it says on my research. Is that what it says on a can, Dolan? They have 4 packs for $25 is what I saw online.
Okay.
It says 1 pint, 3.2 fluid ounces.
So it's a pint plus 3.2.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
so
Got it.
19.2.
I'm like, that's not a pint.
They had at this place, the location, autographed crowlers when the beer came out last year. You could have bought them.
Nice.
And they had limited edition T-shirts and posters and stuff with the beer logo on it. This place that did the can design, they said this was their first time they worked like a collab with like a celebrity, which is Clayton Kershaw. What they did for this beer and this brewery was product naming, visual branding and logo design, can design and shrink sleeve. This one I thought was crazy, keg collar design. So you know what that is?
On the top on the top of the keg.
So they had to make it look like the beer can or the tap handle, which they also did.
Oh.
So I never thought like, oh man, you'd have to really think about your design to make it fit on this weird, like a half rainbow shaped piece of paper.
True.
To make it look, people could look at it right away and be like, oh, that's what I need to put on the line. Like that blew my mind. I never thought of that before. They had commemorative shirts and then launch marketing and materials. So they put a lot of time and effort into this. I can't imagine it was cheap. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't think most breweries do this. I assume it's because it was a famous baseball player, and the brewery must like have some connection or really like him because all the money, like you said, is going to the charity. So they're not really getting anything out of except foot traffic into the door and that sort of thing. Some pub.
I would go if that was the case. Like if I knew there was a collab with a major league ball player, I would definitely go try that.
I'll hit this thing real quick because it was hard for me to understand at first, and I had to really read about it. Buzzrock Brewing, they're in this thing. Basically, what I would call it is a conglomerative of a brewery and a food court.
Yeah.
Beer hall or something they called it, or what was it?
It was like the Brews Hall.
Brews Hall. So they own this company, whoever it is, owns 2 breweries. Buzzrock is one. Did you see the other one?
I remember, but I don't remember what
George
it was.
Lopez Brewing Company.
No way.
It is, like the comedian and actor.
Really?
So, and then they have a George Lopez restaurant in there called Chingon Kitchen.
Okay.
Then they had Buzzrock is the brewery that makes this beer. This guy, you know him? Colin Cowherd?
Yes.
They have a restaurant of his in this
Colin
place.
Cowherd has a restaurant there.
It's called The Herd.
Yeah.
And it's burgers, bets, and brews.
One
Yeah,
more?
bets.
Bets?
Yeah, like gambling, like
So you
sports bets.
Really?
Yes, and it's all under this one umbrella, this one place,
Wow.
and you can do all these things. So here in town, pretty close, we've got over by the mall, there's a food court that has different restaurants, and there's a bar and that sort of stuff. You can all sit in the same cafeteria-style seating.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like that, but it had more of it was a very polished, fancy California feel on the pictures I could see. But you can definitely go to this one location and get beers from 2 different places, 3 or 4 restaurants, and then you kind of meet in the middle and sit where you want to sit. So
It's almost the new normal when it comes to food courts.
I guess, yeah. It was like a fancier craft sort of thing with a famous George Lopez influence. So that I thought was interesting. Some of the other Buzzrock beers that they have besides this one, they have one called the Herd Draft Pick. So Colin's Draft Pick, whatever, right?
Okay.
It's a hazy IPA. This one I wrote down because when I first read it, I was like, why would you ever name a beer that? I cannot believe they would name that. How did this get past it? And then I realized, the letters are just so close together and they look the same. I thought it was a different word.
Okay.
The beer is called Kittle Diddles, which is classic IPA. And I thought it said Kitty Diddles. And I was like, why would you name a beer Kitty Diddles? That is not good. And then there's one called Rat Beach Red Ale.
Rat Beach.
which is, I guess, a beach close to where they're at. So
Oh, okay.
that's their thing. But it was definitely had like a California feel, neighborhood feel. It wasn't like real industrial looking. It wasn't one of those types of places. It looked pretty comfy and just like a place you'd go and hang out for an afternoon, probably watch football or baseball with the sports betting sort of scenario going on in there. But I'd never seen anything like that before, or I didn't know Colin Cowherd was in the restaurant.
Well, I didn't know George Lopez was
Maybe
either.
his, just his name and likeness, but
Yeah.
they had really cool merch. It was like a lot of brewery stuff with George Lopez. I was like, oh, that's kind of sweet. It was like his face. You knew what it was a drawing, but it's like, do I need that? Probably not. Not yet. We'll see.
Do you want it? Yes.
Yeah.
Do you need it?
I don't need it.
No.
So I did not. But that's what I got on that information.
It was definitely, I had a little bit on that too, but this was directly off their website. Welcome to the first ever multi-concept brewery and food hall in Torrance, California. With 2 breweries and 4 food concepts, not to mention a full bar, we have a little something for everyone. We are obsessed with great beer and craveable food and have created a community hub we think you'll love. Pull up a chair and stay for a while.
Yeah. It was cool. It would look like a place you could go to like a lot of times. I mean, if the this is good, right? So I assume some of the other stuff is good too. And 4 restaurants would be pretty sweet because a lot of breweries we talk about don't even have food. They have food trucks or,
Right.
You can, get a side dish or whatever. But having a place where you could go and sit down and do that many different times, you could try all sorts of different stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could go there weekly, I would assume. It'd be fun.
I would if it was that close.
Yeah.
I would definitely go to
There's
some place
places
like
I go weekly and they don't have this set up.
No, not at all.
Bummer. Got to go to California.
Let's talk about baseball a little bit.
Okay, because I didn't do zip on baseball.
None at all.
Nope.
Mine's purely. I just want some opinions here.
Okay.
Okay. And we may have done this last year. I don't know. Let's just revisit it this
Sure.
year. How did you become a Kansas City Royals fan?
My dad
Yeah.
is a Kansas City Royals fan, and my grandma is a Kansas City Royals fan. She was. And my first baseball memory is the 85 World Series. My dad was losing his shit because they won the World Series after being close in the early 80s, late 70s.
Right.
The Royals were one of the best teams in the American League. Them and the Yankees.
Yeah.
And that's who it always was. And then I was born, and then we started sucking. And then we won a little bit.
Clearly,
one time.
it was your fault then.
I
right?
feel like it was.
Maybe.
And but I did get redemption because the year my son was born, we were the World Series champs.
2015.
Pow! So I have that going for us. But yeah, that's how.
Interesting.
You?
WGN.
WGN. That's how I knew about the Cubs.
Yeah, when I was 10 years old, 1984, we got cable for the first time. So that's how old I am. We had 3 channels.
Sweet.
Right, on the little dial, dunk,
Yep.
dunk, 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 right? Then we got a cable box, and it went up to like 40 some
Yeah.
channels, which was mind blowing.
Was it the box that you could push up or down on the button?
Oh
yeah.
Yep, and had a little digital readout on there.
Yep.
Channel 33 was MTV. Channel 34 was VH1. Oh yeah. And channel 26 was WGN.
Yeah, that's what it was in Lincoln. I think
26?
Yeah, pretty sure.
And Harry Carey and Steve Stone, and
The best.
God, I loved that.
Holy cow, he'd say.
That team. Oh, I loved that 84 team. Was so fantastic.
They were good.
Sometimes when I need to,
Was that a World Series year?
It almost was. The ball went
NLCS?
through. It went through Leon Durham's legs, and the Padres went on to win the World Series that year.
Not as famous as
Unfortunately.
the 86
As
ball.
old Buckner.
Yeah, but
No,
he was a Cub too, wasn't he?
he was. He was. We actually traded him to the Red Sox. You're welcome.
It all comes back around.
Yeah, I guess so. Sometimes when I need to either concentrate or maybe sometimes when I'm at the dentist and I don't want to be focusing on the pain of the dental
sound, yeah.
procedure
Uh-huh.
or whatever, I will go back through, and in my head I go back through that lineup, and I can go up and down that lineup. I can go through that pitching staff. I could tell you
This is
left
this
field,
is
center field,
weird.
right field. Oh yeah.
You do that too, right, Dolan?
Nope.
That's how much I love baseball, though.
Yeah.
And that's how much I loved that team in particular. I fell in love with Ryan Sandberg that year.
He was my favorite.
Yeah.
I remember my first year playing T-ball. Would have been 86, maybe? Would have been 8.
Okay.
No, it would have been 85, 86. And I had to go and we got the T-shirt, from the
Yeah.
YMCA,
Yeah.
and I had to put your name or whatever and the number on the back. and you got to pick your number.
Oh.
And I picked 23.
23.
And everybody's like, "Ooh, Michael Jordan." And I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
No.
No, it's Ryan Sandberg.
Ryan Sandberg.
I'm playing second base. I gotta have Ryan Sandberg's number. Get out of here with that.
Yep.
Didn't even know Michael Jordan was at that time.
No, didn't matter. I mean, he was
Not
in
to me.
he was in Chicago too, but it didn't.
Yeah.
Well, not quite. Yeah, was he
Yeah,
there
he
already?
was.
Yeah,
Yep.
he was. Yeah.
Yep.
Dolan, you got a baseball memory for us? Do you have?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. I used to go and watch all of my friends play,
There it
and I
is.
got to run the score, the score thing. Yeah, because if you run the score thing, then you get a free snack at the concession.
Boom.
And
nice.
you get, and I always did seeds. I always had the seeds.
Always.
The barbecue or the dill pickle were my favorite.
See, that's how
not-
young he is. We didn't have flavored
No,
seeds.
Didn't have flavored
we had
seeds?
salt flavored.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
lucky.
Well, I mean, I had those too, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I always that's how I actually learned baseball, like how to play. Was I got to run the score thing, and we would all run up to be the person to run the score.
Oh yeah.
That was our thing. And then one time I got yelled at because I was my buddy's team, and I would, 2 points. Oh, what? How'd that happen?
2 points. I love it.
They're points. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever keep book? Did you ever keep the
No.
book?
He wouldn't know how
No.
to keep the
No.
book.
No, I
That's
didn't
a
keep it.
lost art right there.
I am such a
learning
baseball
how-
nerd that before I had kids, I got a scorebook from Dick's, and I would watch TV baseball games and keep score at home in my scorebook.
Practice.
That is sad.
I tell you, there's nothing better than when you get the program
Yep.
and it has the scorecard on the back, and you write the lineup out and you
Yeah.
start keeping score.
Yep. Nobody does that anymore.
No, no one does it. All right, so favorite baseball player.
Ready?
Ready?
Oh,
Is there
I
a
have it
bonus?
right here.
Is there a bonus beer to go with this?
It sure is. Alex Gordon.
Oh,
Bonus beer. Favorite baseball player of all time.
and Nebraska Cornhusker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lincoln
Wow.
Southeast graduate. My sister and him were in the same class. It's weird to think that Brian, played baseball in the same field he did.
Yes, you did.
And he was a lot better than I was.
Well.
that's easy to say. Yeah, Alex Gordon for me. Before that was George Brett. Just happened to be, they both were the Royals.
Right.
When they drafted him second overall pick, I was pretty stoked.
Yeah.
And it panned out pretty well for him, for old Alex. So,
Didn't start off great.
no, sure didn't.
But he made some adjustments, like any good major leaguer would.
Yep.
He made some adjustments.
I feel like it's probably because he came to Omaha. That
totally
probably had
why.
something to do with
That's
it.
totally why.
But this year, this beer has come out. Now, the last couple years, Boulevard has done a beer with a Royals player. Witt had one. Salvi Perez
Sal
had
Perez
one.
had one, yeah.
This is Alex Gordon. It's Gordo's Golden Ale. So, that was a nice segue. They had
Totally unplanned, by the way.
a kickoff for this beer middle of March. So this has just come out, and I have not had it. And the can is very cool. I really like the design. At Boulevard, they have a rooftop patio and deck, and they had a party for the kickoff thing. And all the money for this party went to charity. Guess what? Just like Clayton Kershaw, all the money went to a charity.
Nice.
This charity is called Alex's Lemonade Stand, and it is not Alex Gordon. It is a girl. Her name was Alexa Scott, and at 4 years old, she had cancer, and she survived for a little while. Started a lemonade stand, and all her profits went to cancer research. And she raised $2,000 the first year. By the time she had passed away in 2004, she'd raised $1 million.
Jeez.
So they do this website, which is, I think, alexslemonadestand.com, I believe. And they partner with a lot of different places, and they get money. And that's what Alex Gordon chose to put the money towards for this thing. So what you could get for this at Boulevard within a month ago when this came out was $500 a ticket.
Okay.
You go there, you get a private tour with Alex and his wife of Boulevard. You go hang out. They had food menu sort of situation set up at Boulevard. They had catering or whatever. Then you get beers, like a private waiter or whatever brings you stuff. And then you got a 6-pack of beer to go. This one, yeah, right there, Gordo's. And then they had a regular ticket was like $150, which was just you go hang out, no tour, no private elbow rubbing, no greasy wheel sort of situation. You get a 6-pack of beer to go, and you get to go and have it on tap, first time ever, that sort of thing. Kind of kicking off baseball, that sort of stuff. So I thought that was fun. The Boulevard deck looked cool. I've never been there. Have you? Up top?
I have not. You know what? I have. We generally sit in the beer hall, though.
They have tabletop shuffleboard.
Yes.
And they had like the kind you see on a cruise ship shuffleboard, like where you use the stick.
The real sticks, yeah.
And then they have foosball and other stuff set up. This is like a party pad.
Yep.
It looked pretty fun.
Yep.
The other thing about this beer, real quick, it has Pilsner malt, malted wheat, Magnum hops is what they call it for bitterness. So it's not a super hoppy beer. Should be herbal and woody-ish on the spicy notes, they say. So kind of like maybe a little bit of Saison-y in there almost. Traditional Saaz, or Saz, I guess, S-A-Z, and Sapphire hops. Honey-like malt sweetness that gives way to a clean finish. So it's supposed to be good in the summertime. What do we think?
I think it's a really good...
It's kind of like reminds me of some of the cream ales maybe that I've had. Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of almost like what's that one out of Wisconsin everybody wants?
A Spotted Cow.
Yeah, very similar to a
Very
Spotted Cow.
similar. The can is fantastic. If you look closely at the can...
I like the top part on the right below the whatever the word is.
The
ring.
Yep. All of his gold gloves are on here.
Yeah.
I assume, excuse me, there's 3 bats on there. I'm going to guess he won Silver Slugger 3 times. It doesn't have dates on them, though. But then on the right side of the can, you see his jersey there, and it has every time when he would swing, the bat would come back and it'd hit the back of his jersey.
Yep.
And there was always pine. That was a nice little attention to detail there.
Here we go. Alexander Jonathan Gordon, 2007 to 2020 for the Kansas City Royals. In 2005, he was the Golden Spikes winner, so the best college baseball player.
Best player in college baseball.
At NU. He was the second overall pick. Went to the Royals. 2007 to 2010, he played third base. Not very well. Played defense, was great. Couldn't hit. Could not hit.
Yep.
And they had this guy in the pipeline named Mike Moustakas. And he played third base. And they're like, something's got to give. And Alex got hurt, and he needed rehab. So they sent him to Double A, and then he got to Triple A. And Rusty, our coach, Rusty Kuntz, said, man, you ain't hitting. If you can catch a ball, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
And guess what? He could catch a ball because he was a great defender. Put him out to left field to learn how to play. And that was the best thing he ever did.
Yeah. That turned his career around.
8 Gold Gloves. 4, I never heard of this before, Fielding Bible Award.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either.
No.
One time, which very recently was, the Wilson Defensive Player of the Year.
Yes.
So he was like the best defensive player in all of baseball, all of the 1,000 players.
There were some guys you did not run on. Alex Gordon was one of them.
I wrote down, what was it? There was one year, maybe it was the first year he went to the outfield.
Okay.
So it might have been 2011. He had like 24 assists from left field. An assist is when you throw somebody out at the bag, so they're going to like second base, third base, or home, and you throw the ball there, and they get tagged out before they get there.
Yep.
They don't happen all the time in the outfild. You have to have a gun to do that, and he did it better than anybody.
Oh.
So accurate.
Yes. There was no one at that time. Maybe Jason Hayward later on in the 2000s, maybe later on. But at the time, he was you just didn't run on him.
It was like Ichiro, and then it was him.
Yep.
And I don't know who it would be now. I feel like there's a right fielder that's got like that guy from Oakland, Laureano or whatever. He can throw you out. Yep. 2002, he was the Nebraska Baseball Player of the Year in high school. So he was like a freshman.
Yeah.
And in 2005, the year he won the Golden Spikes, he was an SB finalist for College Male Athlete of the Year.
Oh.
So we're going up against all the sports.
Yeah.
Which is, that's how dominant he was at Nebraska. Sheesh. And we have never had anybody since that has been
like
that good.
No.
And he's a homegrown dude. He had a really nice house in Lincoln. Him and Darren Erstad lived pretty close together for a while.
Interesting.
And now I think he lives in Kansas, like a suburb of Kansas City.
Okay.
He's still around. His family's from Lincoln. He would go to Royals games as a kid with his parents and stuff, so like it worked out great for him. And I thought when this came out, I was like, "Oop, grabbing that charity tie-in," which was cool, and the beer tastes pretty good.
Both of these are really, really good. I I wasn't sure what to think of a grapefruit wheat ale, but there was nice bitterness to that I didn't anticipate.
Grapefruit, I don't like to eat it, but I like to drink it for some reason, and it tasted really good. That'd be good on a super hot day. This one tastes good anytime.
This one I would buy in the store. So what's the 4.6? Yeah, so it's nothing. I mean, it's your Bud Light here.
I had to go searching for that because when it first hit it's kind of limited beer. It's usually just for baseball time.
Yep.
So I had to go look for that
I
one.
would drink both of these at a baseball game. That's the thing. I don't really follow baseball. I don't really watch a lot of it at all. But I love going to the games. Like, I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I understand the game. I just don't.
You didn't grow up with it. Like
I didn't.
We did.
I didn't grow up with it. Yeah. Well, who's your favorite baseball player then?
Well, I mean, I named my son after him.
Okay.
Greg Maddux is just, I mean, and a close second is Ryan Sandberg, but Greg Maddux he was just, there was no one like him. No one. And there hasn't.
Nickname? Mad Dog?
The Mad Dog, which is funny because that was not his personality.
He's such a nerd.
I have a funny story about him, and I can't remember who told me this story, but it seems to be true because I've heard it from multiple sources. Every year in spring training, kind of after he got his feet under him, he became a major leaguer, he would buy a new truck. And he would buy it from the same place there in Arizona where they would go to spring training. And he would drive his old truck, in
like
quotation marks,
last year's truck,
to the dealership, and he would get the exact same ones, like a blue Ford F-150 or Chevy Silverado. I can't remember which one of the two. Anyway, it would come in and it would be thrashed. He would have just chew spit and garbage and whatever. And he would trade it in, and they would give him full value because there was a list of dudes to buy that next truck because they want that on. They want to see it on the what do you call it? The
title.
On the title, yeah.
There's a Seinfeld episode like that.
Exactly. Yeah. John Voight.
The
John Voight car. Yeah. But there was a list of dudes, and they would bring it in and clean it, and half the time they had to like change the carpet out and stuff because it was just he wouldn't clean it. It would just thrash it, knowing that.
Who cares? Huh?
Who cares? He was gonna trade it in every year. But that's the truck he would drive every single year. Same one, blue. Just that. Now I wonder if that changed when he went to the Braves. I know that was true when he was with the Cubs, though. So, Dolan, do you have a favorite baseball player?
No, but I'll tell you what. I have a lifelong friend, childhood friend. We're still friends to this day. Who is really into baseball, loves the Cubs, huge Cubs fan, and his favorite baseball player is Sammy Sosa.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Swinging Sammy.
Oh man, he changed the game, right? I mean, he brought
him and McGuire.
Fans. Yeah. That's a memory I have. Right? My dad was sick that year, the year that the home run race was happening, and he progressively got sicker and sicker through the season, and part of that too is he wouldn't stay up as late or whatever, and watch the games, and I would talk to him every morning. And he'd be like, where's it at? Because he was born in St. Louis. Yeah. So he still had those ties.
Gosh.
He still had those ties back to St. Louis. His favorite player was Stan Musial.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
he was a great player. So.
Right. And Sammy hit one last night. Mark's up by 2 or whatever. Yeah.
Dude, all of America, not even baseball fans, paid attention to that.
I was following that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was highlights on the actual nightly news.
Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore.
No, not
was crazy.
That. It was awesome. That was a fun time in baseball.
Yeah, he had a baseball sign by him. He had all the art and baseball cards and all over his bedroom. So it was the first baseball player that I actually learned the name of. So
all right, well,
good for you. You got 2 Cubs. All right.
You could have done a whole lot worse there.
That's true.
All right, let's go to Untapped on this one. There's no TripAdvisor. I mean, I could have done TripAdvisor if I had known we were going to go Boulevard too. There was 3 reviews on this Buzzrock place.
That's it, huh?
And that's it. So now maybe there was one more on the whole place.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they were all 5 stars, and they were all like, "This place is awesome."
It looked cool. I'd definitely go there if I was in Torrance, California.
You know what that reference is, right?
Nope.
No? You never
It's
see
from The Shining.
The Shining?
Oh,
I
okay.
can't say Torrance without doing the little finger, right? The little man
Danny.
that lives in the back of Danny's throat.
Yeah,
No,
no.
that's fine.
Danny isn't here, Mrs. Torrance. No?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
No.
yeah.
Listen, Untapped. Okay, there were two different ones. There was one for the 2021. This is on Buzzrock, on Kershaw's Wicked Curve.
I think that's what this is, right?
This is,
Okay.
yeah. So there's two different ones. So we're just going to do the 2021 version. 44 check-ins.
Wow, that's low.
Super low. Now, the other one didn't have a date. It had 506 check-ins.
So there's just a general one.
There's just a general
Yeah.
one. And neither of them had a picture, which I thought was odd. So 44 check-ins for this beer. This isn't going to be easy.
2.3.
We're not doing any beers.
I'm going to say a good ERA, 3.19.
That is a decent ERA. No, this would be a not so good ERA.
Are we talking a Royal starter? 4.11?
Not quite.
Okay.
3.65. Maybe that's Kershaw's
That's still pretty
playoff
good.
ERA. Maybe.
That's still pretty good, 3.65. Anything under 4 nowadays is pretty good.
Now, what's odd, and I don't think, odd, I don't know if it's the right word, 506 check-ins on the other one, and it's 3.59, so it's right in the same ballpark. See what I did there? Ballpark. There you go.
Sorry, Dolan.
Done.
All right.
The annual baseball episode, I always feel bad for Dolan on
I do
this one,
too.
'cause
It's okay.
We could make this like an 18-hour episode.
I love watching you guys just like almost drool.
Oh, yeah.
Just
That might be the actual alcohol in this
beer
beer.
and
Possibly.
baseball. I mean,
The only thing we're missing is a brat or a hot dog
Exactly.
here, and the sun,
Yeah, some song.
and the crack of a wood bat. That's all we're missing. So, all right. Well, saying that, Dolan has a fun one coming up. He went to a meet and greet not too long ago,
yeah.
and got a
Last
beer
month.
from one of our
Travelers.
Yes,
Travelers
husband. Yep.
Well, they got it together, so
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
a joint
yeah,
affair.
a joint gift. Yeah, Misty Lawhorn's Heather Campbell and her husband Tori.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And so when he gave this beer to Dolan, there was a little beef.
There's
a little-
We're gonna get into
It's
it.
a little beef.
A
We'll get
little
into
beef.
it.
Okay, yeah.
Just a
Let's-
little bit.
teaser.
It's
Let's-
a
Yeah.
friendly beef.
Friendly
Oh.
beef.
So
Okay.
we will be, you and I will be the final judge of the friendly
Yeah.
beef.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, yeah.
I love a good beef.
Yeah. So
Me too.
Until then, we're not going anywhere for a while.
Let's have another beer.
Thank you for listening to A Beer with Atlas. Special thanks to our brand team for producing the show. Each episode of A Beer with Atlas is powered by Atlas MedStaff, an industry leader in travel healthcare staffing.